For King and Country with Joy at 7:29. Good morning. Doug with you. Cody on his first day of vacation. But it's the Doug and Trisha show this morning. Hey, Trisha, good morning.
Good morning.
It is time for one of our favorite features here at WFRN, Triple P with Trisha, brought to you by Triple P Parenting of Elkhart County. Resources at tripplepelkhartcounty.org. Yes.
Yeah.
So I understand this morning we're going to talk about something to do with crying babies.
Yes.
Which is so hard as a parent to hear.
Very much so. And even if you're not the parent and you're out in the store or in the restaurant and you're hearing an infant cry or a baby cry, it's distressing to almost everybody.
Yeah. It's just hard. We feel bad for the mama. We feel bad for the baby.
Yes. And that's our body's natural response, which I think is amazing because our stress level just naturally goes up a little bit as the baby is stressed, because then our body is putting us in a like, okay, go fix that problem type of mode. So it is very normal for our children, our babies, to cry as they develop. And in the early days of their life outside of the womb, they're going to cry quite a bit.
Right, because it must take a while to get used to this place.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Like, I'm glad we can't remember, honestly.
They were like in a little hot tub spa. They had it going on, and everything changed.
Everything does change, yes. So the early weeks, that's their sole way of communicating. They're learning that they have lungs. They're learning they have faces, hands, and how to express their needs. So crying is all they've got for a while.
Yes. They don't have that umbilical cord. Everything's set.
Yeah. So just know that it's normal for your babies to cry when they're young. And as the weeks progress, their crying frequency and length of time goes down. So it will get better, moms, dads, So, but
hang in there. It's getting better. It's kind of like the weather the last couple of days. We're saying if we can just make it through these couple of days, it's getting better.
Yeah. So what I want to focus on today is, what do you do when you've done everything to meet their needs? You've done everything to calm them and help soothe them. You've fed them, checked their diaper. They're not bored, or maybe they are bored, but you just can't get them into anything. What do you do when the crying keeps happening?
Show them their feet. No, that would be part of not being bored.
Yeah, true. But if they can't see,
hey, look, you've got feet.
Yeah.
No, right. If nothing seems to be working, what do you do?
Yeah. And so say it takes, your baby's been crying for 10 to 15 minutes and you've done everything. First thing you need to do is take care of yourself. So give yourself permission to find that safe space for your baby, whether it's the bassinet, the crib, or a little playpen. Set them down in there and make sure everything's set for them and walk away.
They might still be crying. Yep. Actually, they are in this scenario, but they've got everything they need. They're safe. Everything's good.
They are safe. Turn your baby monitor on or just go stand in the hall.
Then you reach above your seat and put your own air mask on. Get yourself in a good place. Is that what the idea is? Yeah.
Yes, because babies can tell when we're stressed. I mean, all of our kids can tell when we're stressed, but especially when it's the infant and you're having to try and like pat their back and calm them down, they can still hear our stress. So go ahead and give yourself permission to step away and take care of yourself for 3 to 5 minutes. Your baby will be fine.
And think of the cries as a lung exercise, which it is.
It is.
Just okay, they're getting their workout in.
Yeah. So go ahead, step away, take some deep breaths, go make yourself a cup of coffee, tea, read a magazine, phone a friend, do something to give yourself permission to calm down.
Don't take a trip to the store.
Yes, no.
Right. Stay there. Stay in the next room. Stay in the house.
Maybe it's a great time for a really fast shower. Sometimes that's hard in the beginning. And then after 3 to 5 minutes, go and check on the baby. So even if they're still crying,
that would
it's
be a fast
okay.
shower.
Yeah.
Right.
This is 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
You're going back in. Maybe your baby's starting to settle. And you just go in there, you check on them. They might be a little fussy still, but they're settling down and you can tell they're going to sleep. Great.
Can I share something that I have heard many times in my life that was done with me when I was a baby?
Ooh.
Now, I want to just say right now, here I am. I am not Trisha. I am not Triple P. This is amateur hour with Doug right now. But this might not have been a good practice. I will say I was blessed with a wonderful mom and dad who are with the Lord, and I had wonderful memories of childhood, and I'm very blessed whether or not this was a good practice. But what do you think? Maybe I'll just put you on the spot here. So my dad loved to tell the story about how I wouldn't stop crying, and they knew that it was because they could tell, early on as you can with babies, I was a people person. And I love being around people. I just light up when I see people. And they knew I didn't like being away from the action, from the people. And I'd cry and cry. And finally, sometimes Dad said he would go in, give me one swat on the bottom. Wait, I'm not telling this right. I wasn't crying. I wouldn't go to sleep. I was kind of making sounds. I wanted to be out with everybody. So he'd go on and give me one swat on the bottom to make me cry. And then I'd wear myself out and cry myself to sleep.
Oh, my word.
I don't know if that's bad practice or not.
I've never heard of it.
I have no memories of it.
Well, that's probably nice.
I had a wonderful childhood. I'm relatively secure and balanced. So anyway, so it worked out. I know you're not recommending that. Those weird tales from Doug's childhood. But anyway.
I'm sure we all have our own.
I thought of that because you said come back within 3 to 5 minutes to where the baby is.
Yeah.
And you said, they might be in a good place. They might be asleep. They might have cried themselves to sleep. Yeah. Or they might still be crying.
They might still be crying. And if they're still crying and you've done it again, you've tried everything to calm them down, soothe them.
Run down your checklist.
Yep.
Check, double check.
Again,
yeah.
Make sure they don't have a fever, an earache, and all of that. Go ahead, set them back down, and walk away again for another 3 to 5 minutes. Because you want your infant to learn how to self-soothe, and you still need to take care of yourself because parenting is draining, especially when you have that infant. It's a brand new adventure for all of you.
And our babies need us. Your baby needs you to be in a good place. You can provide for them when you... So... What is on that checklist? Can I just ask? What is a basic baby checklist?
Basic baby checklist. I like how you say that.
Thank you.
Well, just
the BBL.
Spend some time with your kid. I keep wanting to say kid, and I need to be saying infant.
Right, yeah.
So hold them on your shoulder, hold them, swaddle them, give them something to do. So in the beginning, pretty much it's just looking at your face and talking to them. And then as they get older, they're going to explore and see their hands and their feet. Their eyes will get stronger. They can see a little farther away.
Eye contact is a big deal, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And for any relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then as our child develops, we also learn what their different sounds mean. So eventually you'll figure out this cry means they have a yucky diaper.
Right.
And this one's they're hungry. And this one they're just fussy. Like you start to figure that out.
That was a BF4 gurgle.
Yeah.
You get a little list down of little code names.
Sing, hum, talk to your baby, have a little bit of music. And, again, check for the basic needs and make sure that they're met. And sometimes... because the world is a new place, sometimes they could cry just because they're being overstimulated. So maybe things need to be quieted down. Maybe they just need to get away from everything.
You just reminded me of something I hadn't thought about in a while. When Luke, who's now 4, since October, when he was a baby and an older infant, and sometimes Lisa Rose would say to the other kids who just adoring him and loving on him, she'd sometimes say, I think he's might be getting a little overstimulated. I forgot about that. She's such a good mom.
She sounds amazing.
She's amazing. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind too.
Yeah. And if your baby's still still crying and you've gone to check on them, great. Go check on them, reassure yourself the baby's safe, and then go ahead and give yourself permission to walk away. Okay. And then you just keep trying this over and over. The child's being reassured that mom's not far away. Things will be okay. The baby will learn how to calm themselves down. If the baby has calmed down, great. If it's not nap time, okay. Pick them back up. Go about your normal day.
As long as all their needs are met and you keep going through that checklist every little bit, it really is part of their growth and development. It's part of how they're leveling up, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when in doubt, call the doctor. I remember with my kid's doctor, there was a nurse hotline that you could call any time of the day. And I did take advantage of that a few times.
Such a great resource.
As a new mom, I had no clue if my kids had an earache. I didn't know what to look for yet and all of that stuff. So when in doubt, call the doctor, talk it out with them, and they will help you problem solve as well.
I love that.
And if not, give us a call. We'll do our best to work with you too.
One of my roommates in college, Eric's mom, that's what she did. She was the nurse hotline nurse, one of the nurse hotlines nurse in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and that's what she did. And it's nice to have somebody available to talk to and comfort you and reassure you, help you think through, make sure you're not missing anything. And moms need that, especially new moms. So Okay.
Yes.
Trisha, thank you so much. Any events coming up we should be aware of?
Yes, CAPS has some discussion groups coming up. So getting teenagers to cooperate will be at CAPS February 11th. Now, this discussion group is 2 hours long. We have childcare at this discussion group in the evening at CAPS here in Elkhart. Yes. And there are several other events happening at Elkhart Public Library. I believe St. Mark's United Methodist Church is having some. CAPS will have some more. And check out the website at www.tripplepelkhartcounty.org. And you can also see on there which ones are English and which ones are Spanish, which ones are both.
That's right. You guys provide bilingual help and insight and training. So, as usual, all these events are free, always free.
Correct.
When events have childcare, as the February 11 event at CAPS does,
yes,
that's childcare is always free.
Always free.
And sometimes you even have refreshments.
Yes, we do.
Very cool.
And please register. It helps us make sure we have enough childcare. But if you don't have access to a computer, no big deal. Just give us a call, and we will meet your needs.
Okay, Trisha Lightfoot, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
We love having you for Triple P with Trisha, Friday mornings on WFRN. Now, to find out more, the resources Trisha's talking about, and a lot more resources and the meetings and everything, just go to tripplepelkhartcounty.org. You can also search on Facebook for Triple P Elkhart County. Thanks, Trisha. See you next week.
Thanks.